So hello and welcome back yet again to another week of exploring Azeroth with Beryl and Onyx, and I think today it's just going to be Beryl. We're going to a neutral place that it doesn't really matter if you're Horde or if you're Alliance, all are welcome in Moonglade. Moonglade is an interesting place because really it's according to the World of Warcraft RPG, it's the ancestral home of all of the Night Elves. Like, before the Sundering, before everything, supposedly that is where the Night Elves originated from. Don't know if that's true or not. It is from the RPG, so who knows. But to get to Moonglade, at least the first time, because there are flight points, you have to go through Timbermaw Hold, home of the Timbermaw Furbolgs, and back in the day, if they didn't like you, they attacked you. And you would have to do a death run to get through this tunnel. Unless, of course, you wanted to go through the incredible grind of getting them at least up to neutral. Now, as you can see by the fact that they're pretty darn red for Beryl because she hasn't done any of the questing with them. But even though they are hostile towards her, it's okay. They're not going to eat her. So to get to Moonglade, you want to take this. I think I'm on the right fork. Let me double check in the map here. Yeah. You want to take the lower fork. Instead of going into Winter Spring, you take the lower fork and head into Moonglade, which, like I said, it's not a big area, but it does hold possibly... At one point, I thought it was the only Night Elf infant in the entire game, and I think it was for quite a while, but ever since I found her, well, actually, I was shown her, I've actually found a few other Night Elf babies, and they're extremely rare. Like, you can see babies for other races a lot more commonly than you can see babies for Night Elves. And something that it always occurs to me is you never actually see Night Elf children. So, like I said, I think it's mostly because the male Night Elves are all sleeping in the dream. I mean, that's my personal headcanon for it. I don't know if that's true or not. So here we are in Moonglade. There are no real enemies here. There are no wild animals that are going to attack you, unless you come during the Lunar Festival, in which case Omen, the Great Spirit of Moonglade, who rests at the bottom of Lake Alun Alara, once a year at the Lunar Festival, players from all over get the chance to fight him and put him down and let him go back to his rest. Now, if you are Horde, this is your Horde flight point right here. And as you can see, even though he doesn't like me, and if I attack him, I will get flagged for PvP, but he doesn't attack even though I'm very close because of the whole Truce of Moonglade thing that we have going. I also found out that I didn't find anything in the bottom of the lake, but the bottom of Lake Alun Alara has vents in it where you can breathe. It's kind of cool. And I've only come across that in a couple other underwater spots. So it kind of makes me wonder if maybe there wasn't a druid quest getting something, because there is some stuff in the bottom of the lake, just not a lot. So we're going to swim down and check out. I think I only found 2 vents, but I did find vents. Also, this is a really cool little hut if you are a person who wants just a really cool looking purple hut. Not exactly sure why it's here, but you know, we appreciate these things. No furniture in it, unfortunately. As I've said a bazillion times before, my passion is finding player housing since Blizzard has not seen fit to give it to us yet. So we're just going to dive under the lake, which thankfully is not red, unlike the area around the Exodore where I tried to dive the other day, and everything was so red that no one could see anything. But yeah, you can swim right to the bottom of the lake here, and you can see that there is some sort of an artifact down here. I'm really thinking it has something to do probably with a druid quest, since Moonglade is the home of the druids. But in case you can't find enough things, or in case you just want to hang out underwater, if you come right here to this vent, you can refill your breath. So, you know, if you ever need to hide out from your guild mates, you can just sit on the bottom of the lake. Probably forever. I just thought that was funny. And there does seem to be 2 of them scattered through the lake. So, little dumb fun facts. It's the little things in life that make me happy. I think we should all be like that. Just the little things that make us all happy. Alright, now we're gonna exit the lake here. Let me mount up because I like to go a little bit faster. And we're going to go over to the perfect little picnic spot. It's kind of over here by the Alliance flight point. So if you are an Alliance player, this is where you will come. Now there is another flight point, but it is druid only. So if you are a regular player who is not a druid, you get to come in on one of those flight points. So right here by this offshoot, just a little ways away from the Alliance flight point, I found the perfect little romantic getaway. It is so cute. It's probably a druid's campsite, but I mean, how pretty is that? You gotta love like I said, it's the little things. You got the little frogs hopping around, you got butterflies all over. You can come here and set up a picnic, you know. I think I really notice these things because I mainly play on an RP realm now. Also, just behind, you have the great cat spirit. Also wandering in the woods, I found the great bear spirit. The great bear spirit will at least kind of have a dialogue bubble. The great cat spirit, just like every other cat in the world, totally ignores you. Because that is what cats do. Now there's also this interesting little, I'm guessing it's a druid cemetery. And I just really appreciated that we've got a hawk and a owl carving. So you've got the owl carving over here. I guess they're both owls. I thought one of them was a hawk at first, but you've got the 2 little carvings. Somebody with much more talent than me carved effigies right here at this little burial ground. You always wonder about the stories behind it, and Blizzard is very rarely going to be the one that tells, so we have to make up our own. Now over here we have the Storm Rage Barrow Dens. I'm pretty sure that this is where Omen spawns if you come here during the Lunar Festival, right up here on this platform. And you have the Barrow Dens back here behind it, just like so many other Barrow Dens. Oh, look at that. We actually have an enemy. They connect you to the Emerald Dream if you're a druid, and I get terribly lost in them. So you can see this one seems to be being taken over by the Emerald Nightmare. So there's probably quests down in here that I haven't done. You know, I've played druid before, but it's just not one that I've ever taken and actually had any quests here in Moonglade that I at least did. I would love to be a better player, but you know what? I am a happy player, and I think that's what really counts. Now this Barrow Den does not seem to be taken over by the Emerald Nightmare, so that's kind of cool. And again, it's just another big old druid den. You got sleepy druids all over down here. And it is a place that if I go into too deeply, I will get lost every time. I don't know if Blizzard designed these places to get their players lost, but I do remember way back in Wrath of the Lich King coming into some of these barrow dens and getting so turned around that I finally just hearthed out. It could just be a me thing. It probably is just a me thing, but I try to avoid them now. Alright, so like I said, there's not a lot to Moonglade. There's a lot as far as history in Moonglade. And there's also the Shrine of Remulas, and Remulas, the demigod, is also hanging out here, which we will find him soon enough. But it's such a beautiful area. I mean, it's just a very peaceful, very, very pretty area that I appreciate whenever I just want to come somewhere and just kind of chill for a while. Moonglade is the perfect place to just kind of kick back and chill. You know, I could see somebody with like an entire guild full of druids just making your home in Moonglade, because you can set your hearth here. Which, if I were a druid, I probably would. So we've got buildings. There's even some that have official bedrooms, which is always very exciting. And if anybody knows the story, there is a person, a night elf, who is just chilling on the roof of the inn here. I'm not sure what on earth she's doing, and she doesn't talk to you, but we have Skycaller Fabe. She's just up here. Looks like she's chilling out, writing in her scrolls. No clue why she's here. I mean, other than maybe she really likes the view. That could be. Alright, we're gonna run around, look around the city, and I'm using that in heavy air quotes, of Nighthaven. You've got an inn, you've got a couple little other room, you know, places with bedrooms. You've got 2 beds down here, and another 3 up top. I actually really like that style of night elf bed. It's very pretty. But that is not what I promised you. I promised you a night elf baby. So we're gonna go see her now. She is just outside of the inn. If you go down here and you find Mylana, she sells food and drink, and upstairs from her you can find Father Brunette and Mother Igarshi and Emmy Brunette. And if you talk to them, they don't say anything. And I did so much digging, and there's really no story about her. I think back in Classic, if you found them, Father Brunette would say something like, she was the last of her kind, she was precious beyond belief, little Emmy had to be safeguarded forever. And yeah, she's been here, from what I understand, she's been here since Classic. And very, very cool. Night elf babies are kind of terrifying. Maybe that's why they don't have them very often. I'm not sure. But if you ever wanted to see a baby night elf, all you have to do is come to Moonglade, which I think is really cool. Alright, so not much left. This is a very, very, very short video because Moonglade is a very, very, very small place. We're gonna check out the druid flight point, and then we're gonna go see if we can find Romulus, because I did not run into him, and I did earlier when I was doing my little research, so just gotta find him again. But over here we have the druid flight point, and there is an herbalism trainer here. From what I understand, if you are a druid, you can, or you could get training back in Classic here, but that's really the only trainers that are here. So, and as you can see, we have Tauren druids and Night Elf druids because this is a very neutral place. But if you need herbalism training, you can come right here. I'm guessing this is Malvor's house, but you know, if you didn't mind him for a roommate, here's another little house. Big old bearskin rug, which I feel is a little bit ironic given the fact that Night Elf druids in general can go into bear form. I just feel like that's a little bit creepy. But you know, it is what it is. Okay, there's the shrine. Let's go back because I did miss that. Anyway, like I said, this is just, it's such a chill place. And you gotta appreciate that. So here we are at the Shrine of Remulas, and you can actually talk to both Remulas and one of his guardians back here. And so there he is. It is Keeper Remulas. Hey, what's up, dude?
Is eternal.
He says, "The Emerald Dream has become a dangerous place. I grow increasingly concerned for those who have sacrificed their waking life in Azeroth in hopes of saving it." So it definitely sounds like there is trouble with the dream. And then you can come over here and talk to Tajari.
How may I help?
Who's a little bit crankier than Remulas. She says, "The Shrine of Remulas is a sacred place for us in the Cenarion Circle here in Moonglade. So please conduct yourself in a manner befitting a visitor. A visitor who doesn't want my scimitar buried in them, that is." And she means business. She has the said scimitar out in her hand, ready to do some stabbing. So yeah, gotta love it. But like I said, this is kind of a place I just come when I just need a little bit of time to kick back and quietly chill. No real quests here, no real party zones here. There is, you can come here during the Kirin Tor Tavern pub crawl. So if you're doing the pub crawl, you will show up here. And they do have a special drink. I don't remember which drink it is that is featured at the Night Haven Inn, but they do have their own very special drink when you are here on the pub crawl. So yeah, that is about it. We're just gonna turn here and go back so that we can be in that tunnel. And next week, we are going to Winter Spring. A much bigger area, so the video will probably be a bit longer, and it's a very cool area. A lot of really fun, really memorable quests there. So that is what we're going to do next week. In the meantime, Beryl, you can just kind of chill here by this interesting skull. Don't know what that is. Kind of looks like a cross between a crocodile and a dragon. Looks like somebody left it a little bit of hoard booze, too. Anyway, thank you, as always, for listening. If you don't mind, leave me a thumbs up. It does always make me smile. And if you're interested, I'm not sure exactly when it's going to be out. I'm working on it well, not as we speak, because I'm doing this as we speak. But I am working on it. I am building in The Sims 4 Stormwind Keep, and I plan on populating it with Sims versions of Anduin, Jaina, the Prophet Velen, Modern Bronzebeard, Geblin Mechatork, and Tyrande Whisperwind, and I'm going to make them each a room themed after them. So, I'm not the world's best builder in The Sims, but I at least build with enthusiasm, and I think that counts for a lot. Like I said, I'm working on that now. I actually have the exterior of Stormwind Keep done, and I have done Anduin, Jaina, and the Prophet Velen's rooms. So, just have a few more rooms to get done, and then I will probably put it up. In fact, I might put it up as a two-parter. Not sure yet, but If you are at all interested in seeing how well I can do with making World of Warcraft stuff in The Sims, you know, maybe tune in and hit that notification bell so that you know when that video goes up. But other than that, I will see you next week when we explore more of Kalmandor as we head to Winter Spring. But until then, I will see you later. Say goodbye, Beryl.